All right, so we just talked about due diligence and getting the home inspection done. And with that home inspection, we are going to write something called a Binsr. And a Binsr is just a list of items that we are asking the seller to correct, repair, something. We're asking them to address certain things, certain findings from the inspection report. Now, there's a few different ways of writing a Binsr. Now, we can write a bunch of different things, right? Items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or we could say, hey, in lieu of these items, I would rather have X amount of money. Right? So you can go, give or take. And there's going to be different situations that I think is going to be better or worse to go in a certain direction. Typically, I like to shoot for the credit. I want to go for the credit because you as a buyer may have an uncle who is an electrician and you can get all that electrical work done for really cheap. And so you're actually going to make money from the credit. Or you get the credit because you can use that credit to buy your interest rate down a little bit and you're a handy person and so you can do the work yourself, right? But there's different things that we can do for the Binsr to help you in whatever situation you're in. So it's a little fluid on how we can describe it because we just don't know. It's going to be case by case on what the best advice is on to save you the most amount of money or to make your life a little bit easier. So it's going to be a little bit different. Now, it's important to know on the Binsr that we don't go crazy on this Binsr. We don't ask for 20 items. This will be the quickest way of getting absolutely none of them done. We want to make sure we focus on the big ticket items first. The roof, the AC, the foundation, and the safety items. If there's any electrical that's the wiring's loose or whatever it is, we want to make sure we're focusing on the big ticket items and the safety items first. After that, then we can start to nitpick, like GFCIs around the kitchen, loose toilets, broken window seals, right? All these things that happen in the inspection, we just need to make sure we tackle the ones that are most important to you, which is typically going to be safety and high ticket, high money. You don't want to spend a ton of money right when you move in. So let's get all that addressed first. If everything's good there, then maybe we ask for 5, 6 items, right? But we're going to target the good ones first. We're not just going to throw something on there because it's a little bit annoying for you to do on a Saturday. That's not what this is. If you want to get the most amount of stuff covered, you tackle just that stuff. You're very narrow-minded, very niche. We're not trying to just throw a ton of stuff on there and piss the seller off, and then they're going to kick it back to us and say, hey, nah, dude, we're not dealing with all this. It's going to be very annoying to the seller. It happens literally every single time, and they're going to get extremely upset and angry, and it's not going to work out in your favor. So the Binsr part is very nuanced in how you negotiate it. It's very important. It's probably one of the most underappreciated skills a realtor holds, a good realtor holds. Only the good ones know how to negotiate a good Binsr too, by the way. It's just one of those things. It's very nuanced. No one seems to care. It's inside of the transaction, so it's not about getting it under contract. It's not as sexy, but it's very, very important. It's your Binsr. Once you submit your Binsr, your due diligence period ends. So if you have a 10-day due diligence period, you submit the Binsr on day 3, you don't have the additional days. Your due diligence period ends right after you send that Binsr over. So it's going to be very common. Before I send that Binsr over on day 7 or 8, I'm going to ask you, are you sure you want this house? Because once you send that over, it becomes significantly more difficult to cancel the contract and you keep your earnest money. If you want to cancel, you do it before you send that Binsr over. Okay, on to the next.